Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 52 Topics with Frank Fiorellino. This is our members only live stream. We'll let some people enter the room, let some chatters come in. I can't tell, it
I
doesn't
know. It's
show.
like we
It's
don't
like
even know how many
annoying with the
people here.
members
Is
only.
anybody here anyway? There might not be nobody. It just might be you and me.
Nah. They'll show up. They'll show up. All right, we got Matt. Chatter number
Oh, we
one.
got Matty. Okay,
Okay.
he's usually a little bit later than the other ones. That means
We'll see. Lisa Pisatola. All right, they're coming in. They're
there
coming.
we go. There we
We'll
go.
give it a few minutes. What's
So
going
yeah,
on?
let's do that. Let's do that. Hey, what's up, Lisa? What's going on?
If anything, we do a party for two. Party for two? Anyone? Party for
That's
two?
fine. Yeah, whatever.
Party for two at Dorcia's?
Where's Chad? Everybody's asking me about Chad. Anybody have the score of the Cubs game? I'm just asking for a friend.
No, I don't know.
Middle Village, BTF.
Phoenix, Middle Village. What's going on?
BTF. What's up, babe?
You
What's
know what? I
going
think there is a delay, Lisa. I think whenever we do these members only, I think there's a delay from when the comments come in. So I have to keep that in mind, and maybe we'll stop doing this fucking stupid charade in the beginning of the show, and we'll just get to the show because I think there really is a delay. Anyways, we will still wait for some more people to come in. We'll still wait for some people to come in. 1983, New York City, 1983. Brian Bosek, what's going on? If you guys haven't seen our other years that we've covered, please check that out on the channel. Some of them are only available for the members only, which you guys are, so you'll be able to watch them.
Yeah.
Joe Root, what's going on, buddy?
Joe Root, what's up, buddy? What's going on?
New York City, 1983. You're what, 13 years old, huh?
I am. So my bio on that one is I think I'm in the 6th to 7th grade in Our Lady of Miraculous Metal, Ridgewood, Queens. I'm more with the American kids that I've been in school with than the Italian kids I eventually get in trouble with. And yeah, I know Paul. I know his little nephew Fabio. I see them at the coffee shop when I go there, either go see what my father's up to, and obviously you could see they got more money than I do.
Yeah.
Their dad's dead, their brother-in-laws are there. It's 1983. They haven't got arrested yet. They've got a lot of better treatment than I guess I would because, my dad was a maintenance guy in Mount Sinai Hospital. Yeah, I get it. I got mob family, but until my mob family's around, it's not like it's just these kids. They absorb the the accolades that it being people's kids rather than being people's nephews. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Sweet Dreams. Yes, I seen it. And Anthony Aiello was the same. A lot of people hung out at his father's place.
Frank likes the Marilyn Manson version better. He gets off on that one.
Oh yeah, Sweet Dreams. You probably would fucking listen to that while you're writing graffiti.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
Graffiti.
Well, you always know the songs. What were the songs that year, 1983?
Oh, a lot. So you had Flashdance the movie.
Yeah.
So you had the Maniac song. You had What a Feeling by Irene Cara.
Every Breath You Take was the number one song.
Number one. That was number one. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Which was I didn't like it when I was a kid. Who would like the song? But Africa by Toto. As I got older,
okay, like yeah, I'm not a fan of that one.
Now I am. As you get older, it's. I heard it actually today. I was thinking about it because, obviously we do our homework, and we were looking at the year, and that was one of the songs. What else? Other songs was there? There was a lot of them. There was "Let's Dance" by David Bowie, which was Africa's great. Africa's great, but David Bowie's "Let's Dance" was this was a guy who used to dress in drag. Now he's got this nice hair going. He's into women more than who else. the Martians. I think he was with the Martians at one time. And he's got this new style, and he's got that Modern Church album, China Girl.
Yeah.
Dude was fucking cool as shit. If
Yeah, I like
if it wasn't for that album, I would have probably never dug into David Bowie. You know,
really. No, he's
with a
great.
glam rock
Was
angle.
great.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not even my favorite song on the album, but that helped me like dig into that musically. U2, War was out. That's another great album.
Yeah. So I think everyone's pretty much here. Everybody in the chat, as well as Frank and Brent, hit the like button. I want to know how many people are here since we. Oh, that's good. That's good. Make me feel even worse about myself. That's all right.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't think people feel that we're worth $5, which is cool with me. I don't care. But
I don't.
You know what?
It's fine.
If
It's
you
fine.
guys are here and think just you're here, I'm cool with that too.
Kings of Comedy.
King of Comedy. That was a good movie too. Very underrated. That was Robert De Niro and what was that comedian's name? Fuck. Alan something. I forgot. Can't remember all.
Okay. So 1983. So what do you want to cover first? I know you dug into one case a lot today.
I did. Jerry Lewis, yes, he was in it. Chad D in the house.
What's up, Chad? What's going on, buddy?
Everybody's asking me about who sings that song, the Dirty Water song. I said, it's Grandells, of course. They like Chad. Chad brings a lot to the table. Cool dude. All right. There's a Mafia war. Before we get to the New York City stuff, I remember there was a Mafia war brewing. It was like not brewing, it brewed. It was into its 5th year. It was called the Second Mafia War in Sicily. Which was ironic because you talk about people like it's dangerous. You and your family are going there in 85 are like, yeah, I mean, I'm 15. What's gonna happen? Kids were getting killed, but I guess we weren't even thought about. But it didn't look like the place that when documentaries take us back to that time was the place that it was. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seemed like a lot of karma, but it was a really, really, really lot of bad things were going on there. And that's the year that Tommaso Buscetta gets arrested. If anybody's familiar with who that is. He was probably Sicily's Sammy the Bull without the repercussions.
Yeah.
The thing
a lot worse was done to him for sure.
Oh, well, whatever. Yeah. I mean, here they would call it Sammy Gay, and he had an affair with his brother-in-law. Over there, they were killing dudes' brother-in-laws, that family, and his children as well.
Yeah.
It was really not a good time, But
if that's what Cosa Nostra calls for, Bo.
Yeah, no, it was a really ugly time, a really ugly black eye on Sicily. DeMeo gets killed January 10th.
This is true.
That you're familiar with. Something we talked about yesterday on our regular show.
Yeah, there you go. Slain Long Islander's ties to crime probed. His ties to crime. Who is this guy? There he is in the trunk, and that's his back seat with a big knife and a New York magazine on the drug business. Actually, in that magazine, I actually have a copy of it. It's from 1983. There, it talks about the drug trade, and it mentions and it shows pictures of Frank Fiala, Sammy the Bull victim, actually in that magazine. So, yeah, he was. That's why I said that yesterday about Fiala, knowing that he was kind of a big deal or whatever, because they were definitely talking about him back then. Sammy
Fiala.
was like, yeah, the Czechoslovakian.
Yeah,
they did a little.
You didn't even know where he was. I think he was Yugoslavian from somewhere. Yeah.
So you're right. Yeah, January 10th, 83. Sat in the trunk for 10 days before they found him, and he was apparently frozen stiff.
Right, and the detective that you worked with, Frank, what's his name, Pagola?
Yeah.
He said that we're lucky we found him. I think that's the way they were going to have him. that was the plan for you guys
Yeah.
to find them, and I don't think it was for you guys to find them. I think it was like a receipt for Castellano to know that they got him. He didn't just disappear. We're not lying
Yeah.
to you. There he is. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, he definitely had the means to disappear. It would come out later through his son that he did have an escape plan. He did have fake IDs and passports that he used on trips to
Mhm.
Florida. He had false IDs, false addresses. He was kind
Right.
of like,
Right. And who knows if he ever had a conversation with Paul about, Paul, if you ever get in trouble, I got stuff in your means to get you out of here. I got
yeah,
IDs or whatever, that goes in his fucking memory bank and go, hey, you know what? Hey, make sure we find him, okay? Whatever you do with him. Because we're talking about people that used to dismember people like it was nobody's business.
right.
So if they wanted to get rid of him, you know, the detectives saying we're lucky we found him before he went to the dump was I think it was meant for you to find him. I'm just saying I'm looking at it as a criminal.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Same month Maya Lansky dies.
Yeah, Marlansky dies. Thank you, Justin. Yeah,
Go
Marlansky dies.
Dodgers.
Was he did he die in like Israel or something?
Right.
Or
He did get deported to Israel. He was born in Poland. Israel took him in. He was a Polish Jewish person. I hate to use the word Jew. And yeah. So they took him in. I don't know what happened. Was he where he died? I really don't know much. I remember as a kid I started reading up on him, and I was fascinated in how he changed the gambling game in the mob a lot.
yeah.
Stuff like things like dice games, but he had a lot to do with that, believe it or not.
It's funny how many guys like years later you see like these guys pop up and it's like Florida guys who are around in like the 80s or 70s. Yeah, I had dinner with Maya Lansky. Oh, yeah, we were messing around with Maya in Miami. You ever seen these
Yeah,
guys? There's like every week there's like a new one.
of
Uh,
course, of course, of course, of course. Yeah, no, it's crazy. Tommaso Bouchet, Frank. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. His own crew probably took him out. Is that right?
there's two stories. I mean, I could play. Let me see. I have like 5 YouTube videos queued up to play for everybody. So in case you guys didn't, you don't mind if I play this shit, right?
Why would no? Not at all.
In case, so I got a bunch of videos lined up for tonight. I do
Please do.
have the one portion. So if you read Murder Machine and other things, I don't know where Jerry Capisi got it from. I kind of believed it too, based on other stuff. Then there's the other narrative, the Anthony Casso and whatever informants. And Anthony Casso said this, and there's other informants, according to Frank Pergolo, who laid it out how it went down. And it was always having to do with Patty Testa's house or his garage. So basically, according to Frank Pergola, I mean, this is the other narrative. I mean, I'll just play it for you guys. Yeah, the Iceman. Yeah, the Iceman. We're going to talk about him too.
The day that Roy gets killed, he's summoned to Patty Testa's house here in Canarsie by his favorite 2 sidekicks, Joey Testa and Anthony Senta, who tell him they got some money from meet them at Patty Testa's house in Canarsie. So Roy complies and comes over to the house, sitting in the kitchen, having a cup of coffee. Joey and Testa and Anthony Senta walk up behind him and fill his head full of bullets. This is Patty Testa's house, where he lived, as far as I know, from 1983 to 1991 when he gets killed. Outside, parked here somewhere, was Frankie Lastarino, Castro's main shooter. He was ready when Joey or Anthony came out and told him that the deed was done. DeMeo was dead, and they were going to transport the body to someplace in Shipshead Bay. So Lastorino reports right to Castro that the deed is done. The contract is fulfilled. Frankie Lastorino.
All right, so that's from detective on the case. That's his view of it. That's actually Anthony Castro's view of it as well. So
What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I was always open to that idea, and I was always open to Patty Testa's garage, but I guess either one is possible. I mean,
Yeah, they lured him somewhere. I think it was definitely his crew that did that to him.
oh yeah, I mean that's without a
Brad.
doubt. Yeah.
You know, according to I don't know who said it, that Paul Castellano had actually gave the job to the Gaudis, and they said we can't. You know, they I don't know how truth. I would think John would have took the job, but he apparently he goes. There's too many shooters around him all the time, and you know, I can't do it.
So that originally comes from Jerry Capisi and I think Gene Mustaine, and they claim that that's one of the inspirations for writing Murder Machine because nobody really knew too much about Roy DeMeo, and they claim that they got a hold of like an FBI wiretap transcript or something, and it was in relation to taking care of Roy or whatever, and the idea was that whatever it said in that transcript or whatever it was like, yeah, you know, it's going to be really tough or whatever. But obviously years later, even Gotti was so scared of Roy, this and that. No, I don't think that's where it gets kind of skewed. I don't think it's more about being scared. I think it's more of being
put out.
We really don't want anything, you know, maybe you guys might want to go in another direction with this. Maybe, you know, it's going to be a tough one. Which
maybe they didn't hate him as much as they hated Paul, so they made it look like. But you know what? When you're asked by the boss to do a piece of work like that, you can't let them.
Or listen, Frank, it could even have been that there was the idea of they were being felt out. It might not even have been like you guys have to do it. It might have been like, what do you think about?
Yeah. With everything that was going on there, they were like, maybe you're setting us up.
Yeah.
Or it just didn't happen. Maybe it just didn't happen. But they said this happened on an elevator, I think.
Yeah, some kind of wire, some kind of tap. I think it was Gene Gotti, actually.
Yeah, it was Gene talking to John.
Yeah, it was Gene and
John or Caniglia, one or the other.
They might have been being felt out by Paul or whoever Paul sent to talk to them to feel him out about the whole. Like, what do you guys?
I'm not going
about?
to his house. He already fucking has us on the dick list. You know, he thinks we don't know. You know, that could happen too. It's that you see, it's always attributed to a man's world, but it all derives from what they learned as kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the bully wants to beat you up. All of a sudden, he's being nice to you to come over his house.
The thing is, yeah. So
good look, huh?
The thing is with that guy, it's like you don't want to take a risk. You don't want to you can't whack him in Long Island. You're not that crazy. You can't just roll through Massapequa and just shoot him on his front lawn. Obviously,
well,
you don't really. He's not out there like walking to the candy store. You're not going to pull up to him like that. So you're not going to lure him anywhere because he's too smart for that. So that the only way to do it is the way that they did it, which is the way I believe it happened as well.
Yeah. I believe it too.
Get killed by fucking Oliver Twist and whoever else.
Right. The Artful Dodger.
Yeah, the Artful Dodger.
Don't forget about the Artful Dodger. He's the one who makes that whole Oliver Twist story.
I remember seeing that when I was a kid.
And not the musical. The musical fucking stupid.
You got to pick a pocket or two.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Don't make me sing it. You got to pick a pocket or two.
Yeah. Right. Consider yourself.
What's up, Ranger fan? What's up, David Price? It's the sister Philly Bob.
Charles, you see, I got a question for you, Charles. This is coming from a friend of ours from your neighborhood. So your mom and yourself owned Creashies and
Kriskies.
Creashies. I said, did you know Pickles? Pickles apparently told people he owned Creashies and maybe your family with Pickles. I think his name was Frankie Pickles. He's got to know Pickles because Pickles' family was his dad was a big bookie. So who knows? Maybe and I know Ranger fans a little bit younger than us, so that might be like a nephew or something.
He's between me and you. I think he's older than me, but you're older than
Yeah,
him.
yeah. But
Oh, you're talking about the Pickles.
And you know who sent that to me? Ask him if he knows Pickles.
Was Pete in jail when Roy was killed? Was he in jail? It's a good question. He was arrested that year in Florida for fucking around doing something stupid. He was in Florida though. He wasn't in New York at that time. Yeah, he was in Florida. I think either that year or 80. He got arrested in Florida for something stupid. Frankie Pickles owned it after us. Frank, yes, we know
Frankie
that.
Pickles, yeah. Frankie Pickles was on the spectrum. You know that.
He said his son owned it.
Yeah, Pickles, the Spectrum Pickles. I like them to death, but Frankie Pickles was the dad. He died. Oh, he owned it after years. Okay, so you're the family owned it right before. I got you. So there's a friend of ours that basically hung out with us at the Grandview Grill. So he knew I knew Pickles. He goes, "Well, Pickles owned that place in 2001." I don't know. I go, but this Kid Ranger guy,
Yeah. Is that you freezing or me? Because I'm on the Spectrum too, Spectrum cable.
Yes, the Tigers did. No, Pickles was funny. Pickles Pickles' dad was a fucking cheap guy. He was a bookie and he was from Williamsburg. But everybody was nice to they weren't nice. They felt bad for Frankie Pickles. Frankie Pickles was a little Tylenol out. His mama took Tylenol.
There we go. That's my new one, by the way. No more you ate paint chips as a kid. That's out. That's so passe. That's finished. You ate paint chips.
Well, I'll give you the.
Your mother took Tylenol. What's the matter with you? Your mother takes too much Tylenol.
So he used to drive all the old timers around. So he'd drive them around. He'll drive the guy that Sally Bush's nephew, or everybody. You do all odds and ends. I go, I feel bad for the guy. He goes, don't feel bad for him. His father was the biggest scumbag. He wouldn't give you ice in the fucking winter. Those guys were fucking fat. I love Williamsburg people. They're just in a league of their own. God bless them. God bless them. The mob was invented in Williamsburg, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, so let's move on. So I came across this interesting article today, researching 1983. It's a New York Times article. Hold on a second. Brad, I had a really bad day. I need a Sammy. Oh shit. Philly Bob is responsible for a lot of the Sammy shit that goes on.
Well, then let's go. Let's go to the.
He's big on the Sammy clips.
Let's do the Sammy clips.
All right, fine. All right. Let's see. What do we got? I got a lot. I don't think I've played this one in a while. How's that? Does that work for
Matt likes it. Matt says it's good. It's good.
I hope that works out for you. All right. So I came across this interesting New York Times article today, and it talks about a weekend in March. I think it's before the week of the 13th or the 14th is the Monday. So it's the weekend preceding that. And very interesting because it's going to lead to another conversation that we're going to have about something. So this is the article right here. Weekend toll in New York City, 11 murders over the weekend. So I found this. This popped out. This popped out to me because it includes a certain homicide that we'll talk about. And I want to read some of this article to everybody. But at the same time, I think what we're going to do is I have this cool video on YouTube of footage from 1983 New York City, as well as 1986 New York City. So I think maybe we'll take a gander at this footage as I read some of this article here. So this is the New York Times. Like I said, it's I believe it's Monday, March 14th, 1983. And let's see what we got here. So we got this cool video. So let's watch some stuff, and I'm going to read some of this to you. I'll get to that in a second, guys. So this is, let me get the date. So it's called A Weekend Toll in New York
Yeah.
City. 11 murders. So for 11 New Yorkers this weekend, death came by bullet, by knife, by baseball bat, and by hammer. The number killed was not a record. It was close to average in a city that had 1,675 murders last year and 1,832 the year before. Like Roberta Kaplan, stabbed to death in her Greenwich Village shop Friday. Some of the other weekend victims were slain by robbers. Others died in brawls. So I read down some of these. 2:40 p.m., two men sitting in a car in East Tremont and Bronx Park Avenues in the West Farm section of the Bronx began to argue. In a matter of minutes, Jose Fernandez, 23, was shot dead. 4:45 p.m., the police were summoned to the third floor hallway of 1820 Felon Place. And on the floor, they found the body of a janitor who lived there. He had been stabbed to death. At 6 p.m., also in downtown Manhattan, the police found the body of Frank Bunka. He had been bludgeoned to death with a hammer. At 10:30 p.m., there was a second-degree murder of a man who beat his common law wife to death in his apartment in Brooklyn. At 11:30 p.m., we have a DOA that started in some brawl. We have numerous homicides, but one of them stood out to me, Frank, and this is one that we've spoken about before in the past, right? This is the
Before we
Silva.
get there, well, hold on, and we will get there. I know we're in a serious note. Sister says, I set up my backdrop with a true romance movie poster, or I have 3 others. Well, come on, get your ass up there. Stop doing that. We need another co-host. But go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, so one of these homicides is an interesting one.
It is.
And we're going to talk about it. So this is the Silva homicide, Frank. Right?
Yes. I really was reluctant to talk about this.
This is about it. Let me stop this thing. This is the murder of one Danny Silva, who was killed at the Silver Fox Bar on Woodhaven Boulevard in 83 over
83,
this weekend.
March of 83, yes.
Yeah, this is the weekend where the 11 people were killed. Here is that article from that time for the barroom brawl. That is actually a picture, 10516 Liberty Avenue. That's from the 80s tax archives. It says a Hollis man was fatally stabbed and a friend from Mineola was wounded during an early morning brawl at an Ozone Park bar. It looks like it could have been a continuing battle between one group and another group. No one knew the other one. They were from different bars. 2 or more men wielded knives in the attack that killed Danny Silva, 24. And basically, yeah, so this is a barroom brawl that leads to the death of a young 24-year-old individual. This happens on Liberty Avenue in Woodhaven at the Silver Fox. What's up with this?
Okay, we introduced like 60. This is the year. What year is this? We're talking about 83. I think John Jr. is born in what? I'm trying to figure out his age at the time. So, I
Thank
think
you, Philly Bob.
64 or 65. I think 64.
Somewhere in the 60s, yeah. I don't know, mid to late 60s.
So he's got to be close to about maybe 9. I think he's younger than that. Probably like 19, 20 years old. He's at a bar. And this is according to Kevin Bonner's testimony. Now, Kevin Bonner was a friend of Junior Gotti. They were at this bar called the Silver Fox. Silver Fox was known to have, neighborhood kids in there. It was a bucket of blood at times, if you will. And being John Gotti's son, before John Gotti was even known to everyone, but in that neighborhood he was. According to Kevin Bonner, there was this kid, Daniel Silver, and a couple of his friends that were joking John Jr. They were actually, making fun of him. So, being who he was, and maybe if he lets that happen one time, it's going to happen again. People like to abuse people's kids, especially if they can't abuse their parents. So I know a lot of like mob guys had kids that just didn't have it in them, so people took advantage of that.
Yeah.
But not Junior. He after a while, pestering him and getting on his nerves, he took out apparently, this is the Kevin Bonner, a knife and stabbed Daniel Silver right in the fucking chest. When he stabs him, Daniel Silver goes onto a stool, and he's right on top of the stool, and he's bleeding again, according to Bonner. He's bleeding to death, and while he's bleeding to death, Gotti takes a step, and when I mean Gotti, I mean Junior Gotti takes a step back, comes back in, and makes a comment. He refers to the Porky Pig, and by saying, "Hey," he goes, "That's all, folks," and he just leaves.
Okay.
We want to go from there.
And at this point, it's 83. Obviously, his dad has a lot of stature, but he's not the John Gotti everybody knows. He's not the boss. He is a captain, if you will, very well known in the neighborhood, obviously very well known in that life. I guess more of that status and more of that shit comes later, but you know.
But of course, the owner of the place, people around there, they know who stabbed who. Word gets around, fucking, hey, John, I think your son fucking has a little bit of a problem. That's how usually these things go about. And they go, what do you mean? He goes, well, some kid got stabbed, and I don't know. This is how you would relate a message to John Gotti, finding out that your son fucked up. So I don't know what happened, but apparently this happened, that, and a third, and he probably grabbed this kid and said what happened, and he told his son, So he probably was pissed, like most mob dads get pissed at their kids, especially they don't give a fuck when it's their nephews or kids around them, but when it's their sons, it's a little personal.
What do you think? You can just go around killing people? What's the matter with you?
Yeah, right. Again, not my fault.
That's for me.
Kid, you know what I mean? Who the
That's
fuck
for me
are
to
you
do.
gonna do that?
Who the fuck said you were allowed to kill
do
anybody?
that. You know what I mean? That's why we pay your buddy to do shit like that. Anyhow,
hey, you gonna go back to school?
It was 25,000. Okay, so according to David Price in Junior's 302 statement, he said that Angelo Ruggiero paid local detective $25,000 to fix the case. I got two questions to that, David. I wish you could come up. People said it was 10,000. According to Kevin Bonner, it was 10,000. Junior said 25,000. But who does Junior say stabbed him on the 302s? I'm pretty sure he didn't say he did it, did he? Did he confess to that? Yo.
I'm sorry. Those are pretty easy to pull up. It's been a while since I looked at them.
I mean, he said that why would he even commit to that? Unless he's lying. Unless it's really what he says it is. He's like, I'm trying to draw them off that. They do charge him with this in his case.
All right, here we go. Oh, wow. This is the case with the guy who has the channel on YouTube now. The stories behind the red doors with Mark Caputo and the other guy. In the early morning hours of either March 11th or 12th, 1983, Gotti Jr., along with his friends Mark Caputo and Anthony, it's blocked, whatever, were present at the Silver Fox Bar located at 101st Street, Liberty Avenue, New York. At some point, Tommy, last name unknown, a.k.a. Elfie, approached Gotti Jr., who was seated in the bar with a female friend, Donna. According to Gotti Jr., Elfie repeatedly bumped into him. Words were exchanged, and one thing led to another, and Gotti Jr. ultimately hit Elfie with a broken glass bottle. Gotti Jr. then stabbed Elfie with a knife that Gotti Jr. had obtained from Amoroso. According to Gotti Jr., a melee ensued involving approximately 30 or 40 of the bar patrons. Gotti Jr. recalled that among those involved in the melee were Danny Silva, John and Greg Massa, Angelo Castelli, Joe Curio, first name unknown, Riley, and John Somnamo. Gotti Jr. stated that the Danny Silva was stabbed and killed during the melee. He described the meeting which occurred a short time after the incident, the Silver Fox, between Angelo Ruggiero Sr. and New York City Police Detective John Daly. Gotti Jr. drove Ruggiero to the meeting, which took place at the Sherwood Diner, which is in, I believe, Lawrence. It's in Long Island. Want to see what that looks like? Go to NYC Crime Spot, located near the Five Towns on the Queens-Nassau County border. Before the meeting, Gotti Jr. and Ruggiero discussed the purpose of the meeting. According to Gotti Jr., Ruggiero was carrying a brown paper bag containing $25,000 in cash. Gotti Jr. observed Ruggiero sitting in the bar. So basically, it's where John admits stabbing someone else, some other guy. They got into a fight, some guy Elfie or whatever.
Yeah, he was
And
hanging out with Elfie.
basically, like David Price, some guy stabbed Silva in the melee. It all happened in the melee. I don't know who
So the
stabbed him,
dead
so-
guy did it, and that would be the guy who later we're going to talk about in a minute, which is convenient for him. So I mean, if he does say that on the 302, does it make is that part of his thing? He's trying to evade fucking like that's the biggest case he has to worry about. It's life in imprisonment. You know, it's a murder in the aid of racketeering, and they did charge him with it, but I'll tell you the technicalities behind that in a minute.
So
But
this is where it gets. Well, go ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, this is where it gets weirder because we kind of touched on this last time. So several years later, after no, that's not that. Upon Gotti Jr.'s return to New York, he learned that John Sinamo, one of Danny Silva's friends who was present at the Silver Fox the night Silva was stabbed and killed, was dead, apparently having hung himself. But before that happened, following this meeting, things cooled down. Gotti Jr. left New York for Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where he remained for some time. So he went down to Florida for a little bit, and he comes back, and the other kid who could potentially, possibly, maybe be a witness ends up.
Well, he was talking to the cops apparently.
He ends up hanging himself, I guess, in a park. Where's that? Forest Park? Where was that? I don't remember, but
I don't remember the park, but whatever. He hung himself on a tree.
Yeah.
Which was suspect. So apparently he's saying that the guy who is dead is the guy who killed Silva, who was actually Silva's friend, the Sinamo guy. That's why he killed himself, which is pretty a pretty good fucking alibi, if you ask me.
So David Price says they suicided the poor kid. We've heard things like that. We heard of like Watts and all
I don't know how
this.
true that is, but there's stuff, definitely things point in that direction. The thing with me was about the he got a hung jury on that, but people think he got a hung jury because this was playing it today. They had a lot of witnesses on him.
No pun intended.
He didn't beat the case. It was a hung jury, and the hung jury was because of a technicality that we find in the racketeering statute, which is that he actually proved to the government that he no longer was part of the mafia. Not to the government, he proved it to the witnesses. The government didn't buy it. He says, within the last 5 years, I was not part of Cosa Nostra. I quit. I have tapes. I talked to my father or whatnot. And therefore, since I'm not part of it, you cannot go back on that. So, if you can't prove that I'm within this enterprise, this organized crime enterprise, what is the Gambino family, then you cannot charge me with anything back from that. And that's what they were hung on. They weren't hung on actually. They had the goods on them. And there was another murder too. They were half-assed on, I think. But anyhow, so he got lucky. Right?
You say basically you believe that he got lucky.
Yeah, I mean, of course, because the jurors bought it. They said he says he doesn't want nothing to do with it. He was in jail for the last 8 years. He's trying to get out of it. There wasn't really no good proof that he had anything to do with the mob within that time. He had good lawyers. Told him this is how the 5-year loophole. Gotti's lawyers use 5-year loophole in the RICO laws.
Yeah, because they can't attach it to a racketeering thing.
Well, that's how it works. I tried it on my case, but they were like, "No, well, like 2-3 years ago, we got you on a phone putting bets in with one of fucking Vinny Asaro's guys in this period of time, and then after that, we have you beating up somebody over a firework dispute, and then after that, so they had a nice chain on me." But I tried it. Me and my lawyer, me and my lawyer talked about it. I go, what do you mean? And he explained how it works. After he explained it, after it works, he presented to a couple of mob guys, mob lawyers, and then they started using that. And my lawyer was just Peter Kianos. He not a mob lawyer. He was, he still is probably out of Park Avenue. He was pro bono, but he was more intelligent than most of these mob lawyers. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, well, yeah, this is how it's. Listen to me. He goes, this is how it works. So I was like, okay, but he got lucky. He got lucky. Now, if he goes back into the mob, you listening? And if he goes back to the mob and does anything, that's why he stays in Oyster Bay or whatever the fuck he is in his house and doesn't say hi to nobody. If he starts taking bets with 2 or 3 of his ex-goons or puts out some money out, anything like that, there's no statute of limitations on that other charge. So they could take whatever he's starting now with his enterprise and bang him out right out the door. He'll be back in fucking court and they could bring that case back out. And if Gerard Marone is listening, let him know that. I'm pretty sure he knows. But that's why you don't see him around anymore.
Smart. Yeah, he just shows up on the last thing he did was the Patrick Bet-David thing.
He probably don't even shake hands with these people when he sees them in the street, like old mob guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, hey, Junior, yeah, I gotta go. You know what I mean? Yeah. Believe me, there's no there's no love lost for him.
Right. Yeah.
But the kid on the tree, I don't know what happened. That's pretty sad.
A lot of conspiracies there. A lot of conspiracies. But stranger things have happened. I wonder if Eli's ever spoken about this. I wonder what he has to say about it.
He has. Eli has spoken about it.
I mean, obviously he has, but I don't remember what he said.
He wasn't there, I don't think. I think they become closer after this incident, like a year or two after.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, though. All right, here we go.
David's got a triple espresso. There you go. I just finished a double.
I think Junior was trying to back up his claim that he left the life by talking with the FBI, saying that Skinny's doing what going. Yeah, because if they can't get him, look, the state cases on murders are very weak. I mean, I was walking on the street on a murder case for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Where it was pretty hard to try me in because there was no smoking guns. But then when to indict me was easy because they went to the grand jury and they got a lot of double hearsay. But since I was in jail over 2.5 years, they ended up flipping one of my accomplices, so it got complicated. Also, my discovery was a lot of stuff that I was trying to guess how they knew. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Proletarian scumbag. What's going on, buddy? What's going on? Yeah, apparently Junior invested in a lot of real estate, a lot of property, stuff like that. I'm sure he's got a lot of money coming in from that. Most definitely. You got that PBD payday. I'm sure Patrick Bet-David threw him a nice chunk.
Yeah, he's definitely a name that people like to hear about. And back to I'm not going to toot his horn at all, but everybody's always like, oh, he was just his son's kid. It was his father's son and everything. He was a tough motherfucker. And he could rally up 20, 30 guys in a second and they could fucking go to work. He was in. That's how the mob works. They're not boxers, they're not UFC fighters. They're not karate people. Their strength is in numbers, and it's all conducive to how you control these people. It's like being a leader of a cult, and these fucking guys they'll kill for you. And he had that. Was it because of his father? Okay, yeah, sure, but he still had it though.
Yeah.
What are you gonna tell when he got there? You only bit because your father is. You know what I mean? It don't work that way.
I mean, you still got to be. You still, because it works the other way too. You get You get the son that doesn't live up to the dad standard. I mean, whatever
There's a
it
lot of
is,
that
I
going
mean,
on too.
it could go either way. It could go either
You
way.
get the Tommy Gambinos of the world.
Not a
Tommy
bad way.
Gambino.
Not
Tommy
a bad way to
Gambino probably
go.
would have let that guy make fun of him at the Silver Fox.
Not a bad way to be.
You know what I mean?
Not a bad way to be.
No. I wonder how many people we got here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
This is crazy.
We can move on. I know you dug into this one a lot today.
Yes. Michael Stewart. Yeah. Yep. You got a picture of the kid, huh?
So, I mean, I've heard about this for obviously me being into graffiti or whatever. I mean, I heard about this years ago. I can't say that when I used to hear about it that I even looked into it, but I was aware of the story of Michael Stewart, the downtown art scene, graffiti kid, mixing with all the cool kids like Madonna and all these up and comers.
Basquiat and his girlfriend.
Yeah. Basquiat actually made a painting after he died. This is his painting right here, Michael Stewart. So
look at that that's nonsense. Probably,
it's a little silly. It could be so silly.
And
I like some of Basquiat's stuff, but some of it's obviously childlike
what
and
the fuck
silly.
is this? It's like the hamburglers at McDonald's fucking pissed off for something.
Yeah, seriously, people like this. I mean, I am definitely, after like history, crime history, art is like my next like half-ass expertise and stuff. So I could understand why you would think this is silly, and a lot of it is pretty silly for sure. There's a funny Picasso quote. Picasso said something. He said it took me, I don't know, 5 years to paint like Velasquez. It took me a lifetime to paint like a child or something, he said. And you see it in this work. It's like kind of simplified and silly at times. But it's an interesting quote, interesting way to look at it. But this whole like primitive, childlike folk art stuff, I guess there's something to it in a sense. I don't know.
When I get back to Michael Stewart, that was his picture.
That's him right there. We're still on him. There he is right there.
Rifacimento.
Yeah. So Michael Stewart. Yeah. So what happens to Michael Stewart?
He's at a club. He's leaving a party at the Pyramid Club back in New York City. He's a student at the Pratt Institute in Brooklyn. He's an artsy type of kid. Like you said, that he travels in those inner circles, and he's at pretty much on 14th and 1st, I believe, and he travels and he hops the turnstile. Well, he hops the turnstile. Somebody accused him of writing graffiti. It wasn't a graffiti. It was like a tag. It wasn't like he was going to write graffiti. He had been drinking, apparently, to the police reports, and we'll get back to that. He don't resist the arrest. He runs from the cops. So they get him like a couple of blocks after. When they get him a couple of blocks after, they beat his ass. The old style fucking cops. There's like 6 on him. They grab him. They go, you ain't going nowhere. And they're going back and forth. So there's it's by the Parsons Institute, which is a little bit away from Union Square, if you're familiar with New York City. I remember Union Square, that's where the underground used to be. So while he's there, they're really giving it to him. And the Parsons Institute is an artsy fucking institute. It's one of those New York City ones. And guess who's a student at that school?
Who?
Rob Zombie.
At the same time?
Yeah, he hears this kid yelling, screams like, fucking help me. Oh my God, somebody help me. What did I do? What did I do? Him and his friends are looking out the window. This is like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they see these cops just go fucking medieval on this kid. Anyhow, they end up having cops going to them. And that's Rob Zombie actually talks about this. They subpoena him and his friends in the case. But he talks about it on Joe Rogan's show. And when they get it was a big case. It was one of those police brutality cases where people had enough. It's the 80s. it reeked of racism all around the fucking board. I mean, they beat this kid so fucking bad that when they brought him with his handcuffs, he was so fucking like blue and all different colors that they took 3 minutes to take the handcuffs off him. He was in a comatose state, you know. And I talk about the New York City cops back then and how they were. And you know what's funny about that? I was watching. I'm gonna go off topic for a minute. I was watching White Underbelly.
Yeah.
So there was this cop there, and he starts talking to NYPD cop, and they go, "Where will you grow up?" He goes, "In Maspeth." "What year did you grow up?" He's like, "I'm 1970." He goes, "So where did you work?" "At the 104th precinct." I'm like, "What the fuck?" His name was Esposito, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm listening, and I felt that this was the most honest cop I ever heard, especially from the 104th. But fuck, it was a. But he goes, you know, when I got there, the reason I worked at the 104th was my mom used to go to the bank in Ridgewood. And when she used to go there, she knew somebody that worked for the cops. And they made sure that they got me a job there because New York was a very, very, very bad place at the time. So she wanted me close to home. So he goes, the cops, he goes, at the time were nothing what I thought. He goes, out of 100 cops, he goes, they all drank. He goes, maybe 2 did not. They would drink, and they were always about us against them. And I was like, this is what I talked about in one of our fucking videos. These fucking scumbags, you know, where fucking they get drunk and then they want to fucking be us against them. He goes, I was surprised to find that out. And check this out. It was the latest on White Underbelly of this guy. And I said, this guy fucking comes out pretty honest. I like
I gotta find him. Maybe we can get this guy on. I gotta look into it.
Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck? He probably knew English and this is the guy that was there while I was there. He goes, it was a very mobbed up area. Touche. You know, we weren't fucking saints. But he's talking about all they did was everywhere we went, there was always alcohol. And there was always this sense about us versus them. And this is what happened to this kid. All right. This is exactly what happened to this fucking kid. I was a victim of it. I got my ass kicked for being Italian. I wasn't fighting back with the guy. They arrested me. What the fuck? And they beat the shit out of me. So back to fucking like Michael Stewart. That was one very unfortunate case. Very, very unfortunate case. What led after was, of course, the Howard Beach case and the Benson case up there. Is it all about police brutality? It did discriminate. They went after anybody they wanted to go after. If it was just, that's why I have trouble sometimes. I got friends of mine that are friends with Michael Dowd. I have nothing against Michael Dowd. I talked to him, hey, what's up? But I guarantee you he would have stuck his foot in my face in 1980s. And that's what bothers me. But that's the way I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I always found him pretty scummy, even even in modern time. I watched a doc about some up and coming artist that screwed up with De Niro and Hollywood crowd. Is that true? De Niro's dad was a painter, actually.
He was. You know who told me that? Nicky Santori. He knew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said, his dad was a painter. He wasn't even a mobster. I'm like, okay, well, and this was 1990s. That was just classic Nicky, though.
Cops did some crazy dirt back in the day.
Yeah. And like, sister I know is he's in the corrections. Corrections is pretty cool. Unless you fuck with them, but they don't go out of their way to fuck with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cops do though. Cops do. Not all, but a lot of them do. And I got discriminated because I was Italian. These guys were Irish, and they just didn't like me for that reason. They said I assaulted them. He said his finger was, I broke his finger. You know what I tell you? I'm going to use that fucker. He goes, my trigger finger, he said. I said, you ain't going to use that thing anyway, you piece of shit. Read that one. Did we do that recording on that one?
1983, Rocco Shinichi. Is that how it's pronounced?
Yes, he's a Sicilian judge. He gets killed.
Killed 2 kids, biographs. It's fucking crazy. These guys are fucking savage, man.
Yeah, that fucking piece of shit. That fucking was Toloriana. He changed the world. He was doing stuff they were doing in South America. and he just, I don't know if people get. It wasn't organized crime no more. It wasn't the mob anymore. You know.
Oh, it's terrorism. It crosses the line into more of a terrorist idea, which is what
Yeah,
Pablo Escobar did. He very much did terrorist type acts.
yeah. I mean, fucking. It was sick, and to the point where Buscetta talks about it on trial. He talks about the mob wasn't what it was. You know, there was no more respect and whatever. It's.
Why do you
It's
think that never caught on here?
I'm sorry.
Why do you think that never caught on here?
Oh, they'll fuck you up here. Here's not Italy. We have other people that are making money on corruption. They don't have time for Roman Catholics fucking doing what they want to do here. They'll put you under the jail. That's the thing. You know, we're not. They're not our people. What I'm trying to say here, over there, you know, it's different. You're only as corrupt as the government you live in allows you to be.
Yeah.
You're only as corrupt, and people are like, well, they're crazy over there. They'll be crazy here too if you let them do what the fuck they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody, we all bleed. It don't matter if we're fucking from Armenia or fucking Colombia. If you let them be who they want to be, they'll do it.
So those cops ended up getting off anyway.
Yeah, they ended up getting acquitted. All 6 of them got acquitted. And needless to say, and I'm not being, you know, typical, but there was a white jury.
Yeah.
This is 1983. This ain't fucking Alabama. Fucking 60. You know, I mean, so that's a pretty sad one. That's a sad one.
Yeah.
What you got? What you got? We'll
We actually went through it. We actually went through it. We had Michael Stewart. We had DeMeo. We had the Silva incident. We had the Weekend of Horror, 11 homicides. I mean, listen, aside from what was going on anyway, I mean, if I had to guess, there was probably somewhere between 15 to 1,900 homicides that year, if I had to guess. I mean, we could be sitting here till fucking next week talking about all the violence in the 80s to 70s, but these were some notable cases out of that year.
For sure.
Don't think anything else compares as far as like as notable as these events. Sometimes we have a year where there's so much shit going on that we leave stuff out because it's too much to talk about. Pine Tar Bat Yanks.
Yeah, I was reading that.
Was,
you read my mind.
George Brett.
Billy Martin said, check that fucking guy's bat.
What a classic clip.
You got the clip?
That's a classic. I probably could bring it up.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that as a kid.
83, I believe the Baltimore Orioles win the World Series.
The Pine Tar incident. His fucking face is so classic. Just the way he fucking goes nuts.
I think Boy George hits the fucking shots too, as I could tell. Here it is.
Uh-oh. That's gone. And now the Royals have the 1-run lead. George Brett has just homered, and Billy Martin and the Yankees want the bat. Look at Martin.
Well, what they're talking about, Frank, is that he's got too much pine tar, and you've got to have a certain amount of distance from the trademark of the bat.
I got an 83 Yankees score.
He's leaving the field as if the game is over. No, he's just coming in.
I'm not sure. They might have a legitimate gripe. And the umpires are going to get together. George Brett looking around and wanting to know what's going on. And the umpires are going to get together and talk about this thing.
Look at Hal McRae. Look at his big helmet.
Right out of the
I've
dugout.
seen it called before, Frank. You are not
Big
allowed to
nose.
have a substance of any kind above the trademark. And I can't tell from here because everybody's huddled around the bat. I cannot tell from here if it's up too far. And now they're feeling it. See, to see if there's some sticky stuff around there.
That's Nick Bremigan with the
This
bat.
is going to be an interesting call.
Well, Brett isn't sure whether he has a home run yet or not.
Now the umpires are going to walk away and talk about this and go over the rules and examine the bat. See where the pine tar, see the label, the trademark is?
Yeah.
See the brown substance there?
It does look like it's.
That's pine tar.
It looks like it is.
Now you are not allowed to have that pine tar up that far on the bat.
Look at Don Manley. He's a rookie.
Billy Martin walking around waiting for the which might be.
Didn't Doc and Straw came up this year, or one came up the
First
one
time
next
in a
year?
long time I've seen the umpires huddle
What's
this
that?
long and have a meeting over it.
Who came up this year,
See what's
Straw or
gonna happen.
Doc?
They're gonna
83. Neither of them.
84 that
Now
came
that
up.
is the plate umpire, Tim McClellan, with the bat in his hand.
What's he gonna do with that bat?
Now they're going to measure it across home plate.
I've never seen this.
I never have either.
I don't know what they're measuring. They might be going to call George Brett out.
Well, the Yankees win it. He's out.
Yes, sir.
They
Brett is
pulled it out
out.
of Sammy's
Look at
ass,
this.
that bat.
Brett is out,
He's
and
steaming mad.
he
Look,
is
look,
out
look.
and having to be forcibly
He's fighting with his
restrained
chest.
from hitting plate umpire Tim McClellan. And the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3. Brett is called out for using an illegal bat or with the illegal substance on the bat.
Like I said, I have seen this before, Frank, and Gaylord
Frank?
Perry just took the bat away from home plate umpire Jim McClellan. He's going to take the bat. They're going to take it so they cannot take it into the American League office or wherever they take it to be examined.
Well, the Yankees security person and one of the umpires quickly are chasing whoever has the bat. Jose Martinez is holding Brett. Bobby, I've never seen this in my life.
Well, I've seen players called out for using an illegal bat, but never so an important hit.
Dick
Home
Hauser.
run and then been called out to put the Royals ahead. George Brett was fighting mad, and whether he has a cause to be mad or not, I don't have any idea. The umpires made a decision.
Bobby, let me say this to you. The fact.
All right, I stand corrected. 83, according to Ranger fan. Straw comes into the Mets in 83. Wow, I thought it was 84 for some reason. But it makes sense because he came out, well, I don't know. He graduated high school in 79. You know, he was a really good basketball player. But anyway, back to that. You know where I was that year? I was at a Yankee game. You know what I seen on July 4th in 83 that nobody's ever done yet?
What?
A no-hitter. David Getty's no-hitter. I was at that game.
I was at David Wells' perfect game.
Really?
Swear to God.
Yeah, but it wasn't
My
on
friend
the
Brian,
4th of July, though.
Brian and his mom, they're huge Yankee fans. They would take me to games. I sat in the bleachers for that game. I'm pretty sure it was the Twins.
Yeah, that,
And
you know, he was
that come to
hungover as
find
shit.
out, huh?
He was hungover as shit.
Yeah, come to find out, he was fucking hungover and drunk as shit, as he always was.
Yeah.
I was a big Met fan at the time.
Yeah, me too. And then
Ordonez, Alfonso, Bernard Gilkey. Anybody? Bernard Gilkey?
I remember, of course, Gilkey.
All those guys that were on the show. I was obviously a big Met fan, and I ended up at that game. The funny thing about that game is they gave away the Beanie Baby that day, which was the Beanie Baby with the baseball card. That ended up being valuable. I don't even know what the fuck I did with it, but I was at that game.
Yeah, that game I went, David Getty's no-hitter. They gave out a Citibank New York Yankees shirt, and because I went with a couple old friends of mine. And do you know who played? When musician played the Star Spangled Banner? Trumpet player.
For what year?
1983.
1983. Trumpet player?
Yeah. Died not too long ago.
I don't know.
Chuck Mangione.
Oh, Chuck Berry. Yeah, he died not that long ago.
Yeah, he played the
Guttural
I like Louis Armstrong.
No, he was already dead by 83. Edgardo Alfonso will be brought in as a coach. Interesting. I used to see Alfonso because he used to. A lot of those Met players, Frank, a lot of them lived in North Queens, Flushing, Bayside, Whitestone.
They did. Yes, they
So
did.
I would actually see these guys. I remember seeing Alfonso at the pizzeria by my house probably 2 or 3 times. He would always be there. And that's when he was like Alfonso at the top, you know.
Joe says free Chuck Mangione. Wrong Mangione, but yes.
Yeah, wrong Mangione, yeah.
Bruce Cutler died, huh? Happy Jack McKenna. Rest in peace, Bruce Cutler.
Did Bruce Cutler actually die?
That's what Happy Jack McKenna says, and we got Gunsmoke, the Don on here.
Oh shit, Gun woke. What's going on?
What's up, Gunsmoke? He must have just woke up early.
Bruce Cutler, pugnacious lawyer for mob boss Shanghai, dies at 77. That's right, he died. Wow.
Yeah.
I want to say rest in peace. I want to say rest in peace to Bruce.
He was a good guy, you know.
He was a good guy, you know. He did good things. You know. Should have never took him off that trial. They took him off that fucking trial. They should have never took him off my trial. Cocksucker.
They don't talk like that in Philadelphia, is it? Or because Rocky talked like that? You know when Rocky was sad? You know when Rocky, you ever see the Rocky movies when he was sad, you would hear the keys. Bing, bing.
Well, they did that in a lot of fucking movies back then, like at that moment.
Yeah, but that was the keys meant he was something happened, like or Mickey died and or something, or he lost a fight. Bing, 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 bing.
Oh my god.
You know, but then you know when the bells came in, you were like at an hour and 30 minutes of the movie. So you know he's gonna fly now. Bang, dun, 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 dun. And every Guido in fucking Bensonhurst in South Philly, ready to get a heart attack running around their blocks.
It was a big deal. It was a really big deal.
Yeah,
they all talk like Rocky and Philly. Yeah, every last one of them. I refuse to believe
he's not. He's from somebody put that on the. I know I have a cousin of mine. She was like, you know, he's from Stallone Golf. I go, what? I've never met a Stallone. Oh, they've been. I go, what the fuck? He's from Apulia. He's from Barres, and I think his mom is like French or something. She's the one who used to do she's a psychic or something, or a psycho.
I watched that fucking that Tulsa King with him. You watch that?
No,
it's corny. It's corny, but it's good. It's corny.
There was one time where I used to like him for being different. So there was that movie Victory where he plays the goalie, and you kick the ball, I use my head. Yeah,
but it's always him. Shit. It's always him though. It's never not him.
But Nighthawks was pretty good too.
Yeah, the Tulsa King thing is fun. I mean, you know, it's stupid. It's a little corny, but it's fun. You know, whatever. He's in there. His face doesn't fucking move when he talks because he's
he has Bell's palsy. You know that.
Is Bell's Botox or Bell's palsy?
Bell's palsy, it's called, I think, but the face.
Yeah, but he has a lot of Botox. I know. He probably works out a lot. He takes testosterone. That's fine, but he's definitely got some work done. So he's talking. You know, it's always like everything's like, you know, with that show. If anybody watches, it's like there's no illegal opportunity that isn't good. Everything that comes his way is good. Everything is good, right? He's taking over the fucking town. It's absolutely serious, silly, but it's
course. I like Justin Jensen. Agree with me. Nighthawks is an awesome movie. Billy D. Williams. I like Rutger Hauer. Whatever. Remember, he played a great fucking.
Yeah. Doc Ellis story. No hitter on acid. That's pretty fucking wild, right?
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
What Chad could throw a fucking touchdown. He could throw 4 touchdowns on angel dust.
Yeah, Lisa said that's bullshit.
Yeah, that's not true.
David says, my buddy says Stallone. He says my buddy says Stallone is from Salami. That makes sense. He could be like Frank Salami's cousin or something.
That's my cousin. I had to fucking unfriend her on the on my Facebook page. She lives in Italy. All of a sudden, she doesn't know fucking her family was in the mob. Her dad was not a captain. She's just fucking retarded. But she'll come up with stupid shit like Sylvester Stallone and Costello Maris. I said that's my Uncle John's daughter.
I never said I was from there.
Yeah,
this looks like a really good opportunity.
Apollo Creed, you died too. When Apollo Creed died, you hit the keys too. I like when he has the Jimmy Calandra moment.
Oh, Stallone?
Yeah. Tigger after shave, Major Man.
Oh, why when he can't talk? Hey, this is the way
it makes a man schmeal mainly. Yeah. It smell, Jimmy. It smell. You remember that? That's Rocky too.
I'm from when he's doing the commercial, yeah.
Oh, I gotta relax, pray. You got the little Jewish director. Hey, come on, you're wasting my time. Come on, what are you doing? He's
really fucking crying.
The guy's a cut man. You see him? He's like, come on, I got better things to do, Rocky. Can't read? Yeah, hey, I think you're treating me not good.
Sly's daughters. Yeah, one of Sly's daughters is in that show. Yeah.
Yeah, his wife is hot. That Jennifer Flavin or whatever.
What else did I see? Somebody said they watched the clip of my grandfather. That's cool. Thank you. I forgot who said that, but I meant to bring it up. Gracias.
Hey, Rob, she's retarded. Remember Paulie told him that Adrian ain't retarded?
Retarded.
Hey,
she ain't retarded. What are you talking about?
Because she retarded. Paulie, stop. She ain't retarded.
She's fucking retarded. The fuck, my friend who's not watching this show just texted me something about Rocky. How fucking weird is that?
Well, he's watching that.
Oh, I know why. He's not watching. That's fucking weird. Burt Young was awesome. I love the Pope of Greenwich Village. Burt Young, yeah.
Burt Young is good. He
died
could easily play the Comanza.
You know what?
1983. You want to talk about a classic film? I didn't like it at first. I watch it now. It's a little ridiculous, but it's pretty cool. Scarface.
Oh, that came out in 83?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Those are like movies that you can't. Those are like movies that you can't make anymore, right? You can't have this Italian guy playing some Cuban nut job.
Right.
Yeah, Frank Vincent. Well, not Frank Vincent. Frank, what's his name? Oh, Robert Loggia, not Frank. Robert Loggia playing the Cuban, like that was fucking realistic. I mean, that was kind of silly. But interesting movie.
Frank, you piece of shit, Frank.
Believe it or not, I have never watched Scarface.
Really?
It's worth a watch. It's worth a watch for once. I probably like them. I probably like the movie less and less as I get older, but it's definitely worth a watch.
Feach LaManna plays Frank.
It's worth a watch or two.
Yeah, very good, Happy Jack. Is that true that Bruce Cutler died though?
Yes, I looked it up. It's true. 77 years old. Bruce Cutler, pugnacious lawyer. Yeah.
Oh wow. I seen him back in the day. He was in great shape. He, for his age. Then again, I was like 16, 17, but you could tell he used to work out.
Let's see. It says why he died. Fucking New York Times cut me out. He was really bones. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't really say.
Gotcha.
One time, mobster Anthony Ruggiano Jr. said Cutler. One time, mobster Anthony Ruggiano Jr. said Cutler had more than just the fondness for Gotti and the lifestyle. Anthony Ruggiano Jr. recently, Frank, if you didn't hear, also said this.
If I had their money, legitimate money, I would be on the Mediterranean right now, sitting back, having someone put grapes in my mouth. And we know who that would be. If I had...
And we know who that would be. What about the Mortensen dude in the wheelchair? What the oh, Viggo Mortensen, La Ling, yeah.
You
Yeah.
cocksucker.
Well,
Carlito, you
he was there to get out. He was trying to get out of his own case. And he
Yeah.
tried to record Carlito. Oh, you were talking about
Carlito's
Carlito's
not.
wedding now. He went from Scarface.
You like up the river for 30 years.
We
I
went
saw
from the
Mexicans
Cuban
on
to the fucking Puerto Rican.
I saw the
Kill
Mexicans.
me, you cocksucker.
I got
Craig.
nothing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got everything, Carlito. Why don't
What
you
is
just?
it? I can't walk. I can't hump.
You can fuck. I can hold. You know,
I can't
it's
walk.
crazy.
I can't hump.
Yeah, yeah.
Kill me, you cocksucker. And then he goes, what did he say? I'm not going to kill you. You already dead.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm not going to kill you. You already dead.
That's what got him killed with Benny Blanco.
And then, then fucking Pachanga comes in. He's like, come on, let me kill him. Let me kill him. Please, let me kill him.
Pachanga is all about, now you stay here, Pachanga.
Let me kill him, just like old times.
Yeah.
Robert Bobby Riccobene, stepbrother of Renegade Philly Capo Harry the Hunchback Riccobene. This guy's right. Wait, are you fucking writing for A&E over here, David Price? Robert Riccobene, stepbrother of Renegade Philly Capo.
That's
Harry
the guy who
Hunchback
does that
Riccobene,
voice real
was
serious.
shotgunned to death in front of his 80-year-old mom.
The Pizza Connection in Middle Village, Queens.
Robert Bobby Riccobene, stepbrother of Renegade Philly Capo Harry the Hunchback Riccobene, was shotgunned yesterday in front of his 80-year-old mom. It's good, David Price. I like that. Look what I have. Fucking diapers.
We don't even know how many fucking people we got in here.
No, we don't. We don't.
This is crazy. This is an insomnia.
Well, all the usuals are here. That's all that matters.
I like the people we got.
Hey, so do I. So do I. We got a show Monday. We're going to have a guest come on Monday. That's going to be a good show.
Yeah, I'm looking for a
about...
pretty good. What's the guy who was around Nicky something? Nicky Carrazzo. Who was that guy?
He was around Nicky Carrazzo?
Yeah, him and the other guy. What the fuck?
Oh, Di Donato?
Yeah, I'm going to give him a call. Maybe we'll come up. Seems like a nice guy.
Sure.
Yeah. Only 14 likes. We got 14 people in here.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Son of a bitch.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, all right.
I tell you, this sounded like a good idea.
Is that okay? Is anybody I went to high school with in the chat?
Where's Woke?
Well, cool.
Gunsmoke.
Well, where's
so yeah, he probably fucking left. He just popped in and said hello, and then he's fucking gone.
Pick up the link.
Come on, people.
All right, so we're back. I mean, we're back to we were talking about it. I'm probably gonna see me on a Tuesday rather than Thursday, where we try that new little they know we're not gonna be here for fucking 24 hours. If I do come up, it'll be probably an hour and a half. You know, that's how you burn a show out. You know that.
Yeah, Frank's gonna come on solo, or he's gonna play some solos. Thanks, Brad. I was just kidding, by the way. I went to high school also, which I flunked out.
You got 300 in here.
Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be nice, sister. That'll be nice. Anyway,
but okay, don't forget. I need all you guys. For a 1 year anniversary that comes on the 27th. I'm still here. I'm trying to take a power nap while I listen to the show. Damn it. I got you.
That's okay. We understand.
Yeah, all right. Hey, I know the owner.
That's okay. I was watching a video on Anthony Russo in Jersey on MobFacts. All the comments were going nuts on how they said reputed mobster Anthony Little Pussy Russo on newscasts in the day. Yeah, that's fun. You get that. That word gets by every once in a while.
Like Big Anthony Russo? Colombo guy?
No, Jersey. I was watching a video on Anthony Russo in Jersey. All the comments were Big Pussy, Little Pussy Russo.
I gotcha.
I've heard that. I've heard that on television before. The Ricky Mini comment reminded me of that. He fell back to sleep. Yeah. Scarface did not age well. Yeah, that's why I say I like it less as I get older. It's pretty clownish. It's a little.
It is.
A little cartoonish, over the top.
Yeah. For sure.
You know. It's a good way to figure people out, though. Like if you go to somebody's house and there's a fucking Scarface poster on the wall, it's like,
You know how much of a simp they are?
It's like, what's going on? Come on, guy. What is this, a fucking Russian barbershop? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You see a fucking guy on this podcast, and behind him it's Tony Montana holding a machine gun and a fucking panoramic painting or some shit.
With the cigar in his mouth.
You ever seen in the barbershops or like any shop? It'll be like,
yeah, they all have them. They
but it'll be like a next level one. It'll be like John Gotti or a Scarface, and then it'll be like a glass frame, and then the bottom will have like a glass cutout with like a fake gun in it, or like a fake cigar cut into the fucking whole thing. That's great. That's really great.
It's like a Yankees go down tonight. I'm telling you, it's a variety. It's a variety of bullshit. That's what it is. You got like Tony Soprano, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro in Heat, with the cigar like this.
Or you just get the job done with one poster. There's like a poster with like 100 of them on the same poster. It's like every gangster, kind of like that stupid painting that Michael Francis has behind him. All the greatest gangsters. It's like one of those fucking things.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of Pfeiffer, but I get it. As far as look wise,
she was in Married to the Mob, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty hot.
Michelle.
I didn't like her in fucking. I didn't like her in.
Lisa's making rice balls. Lisa says she's got fucking 10 gallons of grape tomatoes.
Where's that guy?
10 gallons of grape tomatoes. She doesn't know what to do. I'll give you my address.
That guy used to come on. Your brother makes good rice balls.
What happened to our buddy over there? He's gone. They kicked him out of the social club. I think he's gone for good now.
Yeah, I think my dumb brother probably fucking him.
Because they don't let me in anymore.
Yeah. Hey, bro. Hey, motherfucker.
What's his name again? He was coming to. Oh, I got to tell you, Frank, your brother's there, this and that. And
he
makes the best rice balls.
Yeah, I'm talking to people like my family don't talk to me, they hate me. And shit. Here comes rice ball guy. What do you say that one time the door was closed?
Oh, yeah, he tried to go back. The door's closed. It ain't open anymore.
I wonder fucking why.
I wonder why, because they caught you on YouTube talking about the rice balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Arancini boy. Brett, Batman Returns.
I bet Lisa makes better rice balls anyway, any day.
Batman Returns. Why'd you bring that up? Is there a reason? Which one is that? Oh, that's the second Michael Keaton one?
Michael Keaton?
Yeah, that's the one with Danny DeVito when he plays like the Penguin. Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman. That's why you brought it up. Okay. I get it. I get where you're going with that. Okay, I'll give you that one. How about a Dangerous Minds, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Oh, I remember that one.
Clear this up. Who is the actual soprano crew? It's Vincent Palermo and crew. Sometimes other sopranos are compared to many different actual. I guess it's just I just sound the Cavalcantis, right? I mean, that's basically what it is. I mean, I don't know exactly.
What's that? Oh, the soprano. They say it's the whatever the fuck.
My brother wants rice balls, cannolis, and bread when I go to visit him this weekend. Who lives in Philly and misses damn. That's a lucky brother. You
must make good, because I'm pretty sure you could get stuff down by Cherry Hill or Philly. But if he wants yours, it can only mean one thing. You probably make better than anybody down there. And I don't doubt it. You're a Castellamese woman. And most Castellamese women that I met in my life, they're pretty good cooks.
They got them by me at the.
What, Castellamese women?
The place by me. Oh, yeah, they got that too. But they got them by me at Tutto Calcio.
Tutto Calcio? Oh, they do. Oh, fuck. You see, you guys are so lucky, man. I got,
That place opened like 4 or 5 years ago by me, and they got good rice. But they got the cheese one. They got the carne. They got the burro.
I like the meat. I don't like the cheese, and I'll tell you why. Because if they're in that fucking showcase a little too long, it starts getting fucking, that sour taste to it. You don't want that. Anyhow, fuck yeah. Sometimes some American over here in fucking Seattle gets it right. They're taking lessons and they have a pretty good palate. We have the arancinis. You know what I mean? Like, all right, that's fine.
I like the ham. They got the ham and cheese one by me.
I go, what's the history behind them? And they're all excited because they're in culinary and they're like, they come from originally from Palermo. And they're Sicilian.
Arancinis.
You want the arancinis? Like, sure. Oh, and wash it down with a San Pellegrino.
I like a blood orange San Pellegrino.
You never had a Gelito, though. They could say that too. A Gelito.
Gelito?
What the fuck is a Gelito? Tuto has a great Spinjun. Come on, Joe. You're making me fucking hungry, too.
Oh, you got a Tuto?
A
In
Spinjun.
Whitestone, Joseph Pontino?
The Spinjun is
They
good.
open one up in Manhattan also, unless you're talking about another one.
The Arancinis. Yeah, there you go, Matt.
Arancinis. Yeah, there you go. Arancinis.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, nice, Joseph. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll see you there one day. Of course, I won't know who you are, but you'll know who I am.
Sure. So what are you doing?
Yeah, go there. That place is legit, man. They got good espresso. They got great fucking desserts.
I make homemade Nutella gelato. Oh, Jesus. Yes.
Let's see. We're gonna see. Mr. Francesco Siciliano, we're gonna see if this looks legit to you. Because I'm wondering.
Bring it, baby. Bring it.
This is the place by me, which I happen to love very much.
I guarantee you it's good. If people are talking about it here, I guarantee you it's good.
Hey, don't tell me. That sounds like a really good opportunity. Yeah,
gelato.
Oh, I see what's going on here.
That's like hazelnut and chocolate ice cream. That's fucking great.
Oh, they make the drink from the machine too in the summer. They got the lemon one and they got like the chocolatey like hazelnut one. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Has everyone seen or anyone Once Upon a Time in Queens with Paul Savino, Rappaport? What do you all think? So I brought it up. My friend produced the film, and I have a couple of friends in the movie. I thought it was okay. You thought it was a little amateurish.
I didn't see it.
I thought you seen it.
No, I didn't.
Oh, must have been somebody else.
My uncle said he saw it.
I liked it. It was okay.
He thought it was
good. Lisa says it's so good. Are you talking about Once Upon a Time in Queens or just ice cream? Yeah, Iggy Penapinto. I grew up with him. His daughter's in it. His little baby daughter. She's a little cute kid.
Yeah, that's a cute kid. Yo, the best stracciatella is the best of all time for me. Oh, that, yeah.
Matt says it was okay. I suppose. Yeah, for sure. It wasn't un capolavoro, as they say, artwork. You know how to say the beautiful artwork. Un capolavoro.
No Nutella gelato. I've seen a long time. I don't remember it.
Got like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about what we got forward. What do we got? Eventually we will put out episode 5. I'm done with it. And I'm actually up to episode 6. It's kind of sad. I'm having a hard time with it. Because of the occurrence that happens in episode 6. So I gotta get over that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna got another upload coming out about interesting.
Big Head and Jerry the bartender. You know, Jerry, so there was this guy Jerry. He worked at the Cafe Laconic. He was a pretty good guy. Then, because of Frank's friends, I'd give it a 7.5. It was a 7.5. It was okay. It was not the fucking. But he worked in that deli. Jerry worked in that deli in that movie Once Upon a Time in Queens. He used to be a coffee guy. He got sick of it. Well, he got shot in the leg one time, but he still was a trooper. Yeah, that's it. The Licata murders, that was a double homicide.
So he's in that movie. He's the one that gets shot at this.
No, he's not in the movie. His boss actually owns a deli, but he worked in a deli in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. Who worked in a
Not
deli
in
in
the
the
movie
movie?
though. Jerry's not in the movie.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say that'd be funny.
Yeah. Jerry's a pretty cool guy.
And this is you called him Jerry the Fame.
Yeah, Jerry had sugar this time.
Jerry the Faye.
Yeah. But he acted like that. And then one day we fell in love with this fucking caveman looking Calabrese guy. And then we used to walk back and forth, and the secret was kind of out, you know what I mean?
Hey, that's Jerry. He's out of the closet.
Yeah, Jerry's out a little bit out of the
You
closet.
heard? Jerry's out of the closet.
Yeah. Forget it. We used to be like, "What the fuck is going on here?" But it's like we didn't know. He was but he never hit on us and shit.
Yeah.
Ramondi knows everybody.
Yeah, he
Ramondi
knows them all.
everybody.
Yeah, he knows them all.
Oh,
That's another guy I got to get in touch with.
You think you could get You think you could get an interview with him?
Probably not. Yeah, you spelled his name wrong, Lisa. How dare you? It's Raimondi, not Raimondi. What's the matter with you?
Raimondi. Rest in peace, Paul Savino.
It's actually Anthony Salvatore Luciano Raimondi. Ranger fan 11 says I have to back this up, Mr. Lai. Hey, you didn't miss much. On the phone with my bank. All right, tell him we said hello. Send our regards.
Yeah.
Send
I wish
our
I had that
regards.
problem. Where was the deli? On Middle Village, right before you get to the Silver Barn on the other side. That one street, it's on the opposite side of the Silver Barn. They had a pizza shop, I think, there too, right next to the deli, and a laundry mat right next to the deli. The Rufos owned that deli. Roy Mundi. All right,
Raymond
you want to
D.
close it up? You want to
Raymond D. Yeah. So when do you think you're going to make your debut, your solo debut?
I would say on a Tuesday, and I would love to once in a while bring up one of our friends out there to come up with me. I would love that. Having worked at that deli, Frank. Well, Jerry worked there of the Dry Harbor Road. Yeah, no, was it Dry Harbor Road? No, it's on Elliott Avenue. I know which one you're talking. Oh, the Dry Harbor Road deli. No, the one over there on fucking right by the Silver Bar.
I used to see your uncle there.
Yeah, he was a stern guy.
He was a very stern man.
You know, he sees that picture of him looking stern, and he's like, my uncle, if you think he had money, you walked in the room, he made you feel like you were fucking Alibaba.
That's not the Joe Messino that I knew. That was my favorite.
When did he say that? When I was talking?
Yeah, that night. Gunsmoke, if you're still here, you got to tell us what night that was when Silo was on with, it might have been Howie, and it was Frank, and it was one of your late night shows. And Silo was there. Frank's there talking about his Uncle Cheese.
Elliot.
And then he goes, I knew your uncle. And Frank goes, really? Wow, you knew my uncle? Yeah, he was a very stern man. He's talking about it. And then he's the Joe Messino. What happened? It was with the Wiretap had just came out. Obviously, you heard it years before, but it came out in that documentary, and then it was uploaded to YouTube. And that's not the Joe Messino that I know. It's like, what?
Yeah, he said, fucking mine. 80th and Elliott. Yeah, there you go. 80th and Elliott. It's on the if you're coming up from Fresh Pond Road, Middle Village. If you're coming up from Fresh Pond Road, it's on your right before you hit 80th. It's on Elliott. And that's the deli. It was a very good deli. I don't know if it's still there. Oh, that's the Andrew Pizza, the worst pizza in the world. All right. Fine. But what do you expect? Joe and Mario Rufo, that's their parents' deli.
Frank, do you remember the Miyazaki Karate School on Metropolitan Avenue right near the fire department?
Where, near the Carvel on Forest Avenue? Or near Metropolitan Avenue towards you guys? Because, we had the fire department. I was thinking of the wrong deli. Yeah, wasn't Rufo's Deli in that movie, or was the Dry Harbor Deli? I don't know. I thought it was Rufo's. I could be wrong too. But Rufo's Deli's a good deli. Oh, towards me. No, I don't remember that.
Miyazaki Karate. That's when Charles Nicholas learned to bust up some heads.
Yeah, I knew the owner. I knew the sensei.
You see, not on the bank anymore, Charles. You look like a Charles. I don't know. What are you, a credit union type of guy? It's either that or it's like just Chase Bank or something.
The Stern guy.
You might be one of them credit union guys. I'm in the Williamsburg Community Federal Credit Union Association of America. It's not a kitchen cabinet.
Right.
All right.
Don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Chad Donovan like that.
Chad Donovan checked out. He came in to say hi, and then he's gone. He's on the sports kick. He can't keep his eye off it.
Fuck.
He's on that sports kick. What do we got tonight? There's a lot going on, I guess. It makes sense.
You know, Frank, you know how it is. I mean,
all right.
He's the best. You know, a lot of people ask about it. He's becoming more popular than any one of us here, okay?
Well, yeah. I mean, listen, he could be a co-host of yours. Yeah, Danny's House of Pizza is pretty good, David Price. That's an interesting drop by you. Yeah, Danny's House of Pizza good. They got the pesto slice there, the half pesto. I was in a commercial. HVAC Manhattan for 20 years. COVID killed the biz. Now I'm a mailman.
Brian Bazak. What's up, Brian? Go Rams. I think the Rams. Yep, the Rams.
Yeah, I like Danny's House of Pizza.
They shit the bed. The Chargers do.
No parking over there, but it's good. It's good.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a members-only live stream. Good to hang out with you guys for about an hour and 37 minutes on the dot as I'm saying this. We have Monday night show. That's going to be public for everybody. We're going to have my friend Ross Brodar come on the show. We're going to be talking about documentary he put out a while ago. We'll talk about his life and then working in the film industry, what's going on with that. Obviously, as we mentioned, he was the location scout and also acted in a film that just won 5 Oscars. So that's pretty fucking interesting. So according to him, the phone is ringing. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about lots of fun things with Ross. I think you guys are going to appreciate him coming on. Of course, you guys could have some questions. And yeah, if you guys don't have any fucking idea of who he is, you could check out the channel, Dominic Montiglio, The Life, or type Linchpin to Bensonhurst, or go to MIC Crime Spot, Ross Brodar. I had him on my show like 6 times already. We've done live streams. We've done all types of things with Ross on my channel. There's no we, it's just me. Thanks, guys. Everyone in the chat. Hope you get into feeling back 100% soon. All right, Brett. Good night. Good night to you. Good night, Lisa. Good night, Ranger Fan 11. Ranger Fan 11 is the biggest Montiglio fan on the internet. Brian Bosek, Matt, David Price, Proletarian Malavita, Joseph Pantino, Sister. Great live. See you Monday. See you Monday. See you. Brett, your narration of the money video was great. You never broke out laughing once, explaining all the historic facts. Yes. That was tough to do. That's why I had to make it.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck?
Had to make it funny. I see you at Tutu. Yeah. Say hi if I see you there. Only happened to me once was somebody recognized from YouTube. Only happened to me once. It's really a little weird. It's a little weird, but it only happened once. Good show. Thanks, Justin Jensen. Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Joe. Once again, Middle Village, Lisa Pizzatola. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good night now. You hear?
Yes, sir.